San Diego 6 News in the morning.
It is 8:01 on this Thursday morning. Good morning. I'm Heather Myers.
And I'm Mark Bailey. Thursday, September the 6th. We'll hear more from Juan Travolta out there in a little while.
At Scripps Ranch High School.
Scripps Ranch High School, the T-shirt, the jeans. We haven't figured that out just yet. And we're also going to hear this hour from Irwin Yablans. I just was visiting with him in the green room. The book is The Man Who Created Halloween. This is the guy behind the Halloween franchise.
The movies and everything?
Created the movies.
He's the
Discovered
reason
a young
lot
John
of us
Carpenter. And
never slept. He's the reason behind our nightmares.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's get over to CS, check our forecast here. And oh, yeah.
It is still scary to this day. Let me tell you, the creator of the horror classic Halloween films will be in studio to talk about his new book, highlighting the behind-the-scenes action. We're back right after this. It's 8:13.
We're going to talk about the horror classic that started it all. From the unmistakable music score to the unique filming style, Halloween and Michael Myers, they still scare us to this day. Take a look. Let's talk to the guy that started it all, that created the whole Halloween franchise. Irwin Yablans joins us here this morning on San Diego 6 in the morning. You sit there and watch that. You still enjoy it to this day, don't you?
I chuckle all the time. Every time I hear that music, I'm amazed at the power of a musical score and what it can do to a film.
Interesting that you mentioned that, because we were talking about this in the green room. When you saw it the first time through, or you're looking at the dailies and so forth, of course, that's without music.
Yes.
So what happens when you add the music to it?
Well, it's interesting. We had what we call an answer print, which is the final film without music or sound effects. And I thought to myself, wow, we got a pretty good movie here, and I think we can do very well with it. But when I saw it with the score and the sound effects, but particularly that music, it transformed the film. I knew that we had something very special.
Now, we were talking about the genesis of this thing, and you'd met a young director by the name of John Carpenter. You were looking for some projects for him, and you start thinking about, you know, what's maybe the genre that I'm guaranteed I can get a subliminal reaction from the audience.
You're absolutely right. John Carpenter was a film student at the USC, and he was very talented, but no one was paying any attention to him. This was the old Hollywood. It was still the studio system in 1975, 1976. So I got friendly with John, and I wanted to make a movie with him. And I was on a plane coming back from a film festival in Italy, just racking my brain. And I thought, well, you know, it's got to be a horror film. Horror films, I have a theory about that. If you have a drama and 3 people see it, and one person gets something out of it, the other person doesn't understand it. If you watch a comedy, one person chuckles, the other one looks out into space. But if I come up behind you and go, boo, you get the same response every time.
From everybody. So
it was going to be a horror film. And then, call it the eureka moment, the light bulb moment. I was in a dark cabin of a Boeing 747, and Halloween popped into my mind. Now, I was certain that the title had been used before. When I got back to Los Angeles and checked with the Academy, not only had the title not been used, but the word had never been used in a movie before.
That's like one of the greatest trivia questions of all time. Is like, you know, how many times has the word been used prior to that? 0. Does Jamie Lee Curtis still send you a fruit basket at Christmas for launching her career?
I see Jamie all the time, and to her credit, she never tires of being the Scream Queen from Halloween. She credits it for making her career, and she embraces it.
You put the book together, The Man Who Created Halloween, how a bit of desperation and inspiration gave birth to the movie that changed Hollywood. It is more than just a horror film. It really did help change the face of Hollywood, because it kind of started breaking down the studio system, and independent filmmakers got a foothold.
Precisely. I had worked for Paramount, Warner's. I had some pretty important jobs with those companies, and I always chafed at the system. There were a million rules about why you couldn't do something. And so I started my own company, and a distribution company, actually. And one of the problems I had with that distribution company was I had no films to distribute. It was a big problem.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
So it's like the guy with the rug store doesn't want to sell his rug because then he'll be out of business. But I set out to make these movies, and that was one of the first. We made quite a few. This film was made for only $300,000. And it has become
amazing.
Yes, and it just proves what a little desperation and a little inspiration can create. It still amazes me that it endures and it has earned the title classic. I want to stress one more thing. The movie is not bloody, nor is it gory. It's theater of the mind.
It's old school horror.
Yes, I modeled it after Hitchcock, quite frankly. And when I gave my instructions to John, I said, John, please, no gore, no blood, just keep the pops and scares coming every 10 minutes. It's almost choreographed. He did a brilliant job, an inspired job, and I'm forever indebted to him.
Well, the book is The Man Who Created Halloween, Irwin Yablans. Come back and see us anytime, would you please?
I'd be delighted.
It was fantastic. Good stuff. Thank you so much, and thanks for the good scare.
A boo.
Yeah. All right, San Diego 6 in the morning, coming right back.